Hi everyone, this is Zeal, and welcome to Channel Duello. In this deck guide we have Skellige once again as our chosen faction. I think I skipped one of the factions, so I need to check that and make sure that I have a deck guide for each faction this season. Why am I playing Skellige again? I was playing typical Reckless Flurry deck, but I wasn't really having a great time with it. I kept winning, losing, winning, losing. I couldn't get a winning streak, and I actually had a losing streak, and my MMR went down a bit. So I decided to try something different. And I noticed that while playing against the Battle Trance decks, I was really having a difficult time. So I said, why not play Battle Trance? And well, this is a get in deck, but it's not like damaging your own unit type of deck with the rain and the other, what's the card's name? I keep forgetting that beast card. I'm not playing that. Yeah, a Melusini. So instead, this is pure point slam. I mean, all the cards are really value cards. You get much more value than their provision costs. So it is kind of a mixture of that. And it is good so far, but I'm pretty sure if my MMR goes higher, I will struggle with it. I don't think this is a tier 1 deck at all. It's my own creation, but I wouldn't say it's a unique list, because most people are playing similar lists. There could be a couple of bronze cards differences and so on. Okay, so what is this deck then? Let's take a look at it. First of all, the leader ability is Battle Trance. Let's take a look at the Battle Trance. First of all, it has a passive ability, which is whenever you play an alchemy card, heal a random allied unit by 1. So similar to Symbiosis. And if you have a damaged unit though, so Symbiosis is kind of better compared to that when you compare these two passive abilities, in my opinion. And because you need to have a damaged unit to get benefit from that, and also you need to play alchemy. So that is a lot of requirement actually, and my deck doesn't have a lot of alchemies, to be honest with you. And what is the order ability? The order ability is pretty good. Spawn and play Marjoram. Marjoram got a buff. I wouldn't say recently, but probably like 6 or 7 months ago. And but not the card itself. The provision got buff, so it actually doesn't change the leader. So you're not playing the provision for that. Spending the provision for that anyway. So anyway, Marjoram is gonna bring you 6 points, because you damage unit by 3, then boost it by 9. But if you have a damaged unit on the board, uh, other than the unit you're targeting, you're gonna get an additional 1 point. But if you have these two girls that turn into a monster, you get more points from your leader. So that's why that's a really good choice. Yeah, if you're playing druids, alchemy, and so on. But as I said again, this is not a pure alchemy deck. So maybe some other player will mix things a bit and get more value out of the leader. Anyway, so what are these two cards do? What are these two girls doing? I have a couple of Crow Clan Preacher in the deck, and why did I start with talking about the 4 provision card in the deck? Because I mean this card is probably the win condition. Uh, well, what changed about this card? First of all, this used to be a 5 provision card. I think like 4 months ago, uh, it went down to 4 provisions, and this card brings a lot of points for its provision cost, as long as you have another copy of it on the board. Well, why? Because this card always had bonded ability, so if you put another one next to it, whenever you play alchemy, these girls boost themselves by 2. Okay, so, and the last expansion, Price of Power, brought the Mushy Truffle location card, and it's probably the best suitable card for Skellige. I mean, other factions also use it, like Nilfgaard. Nilfgaard is also a very good choice because of the Assimilate engine, because yeah, you're playing Golden Froth out of your deck. But Golden Froth is an alchemy, so that's why it is compatible with your leader and also your druid girls. And you gotta have a bonded unit from your starting deck. So these guys are bonded. So I cannot tell. I mean, how much value this mushy truffle, how much added value this mushy truffle brings to your game plan. But I mean, we're gonna even find more ways to get more points out of mushy truffle. Like you have another couple of bonded cards, which are little half-brew. So if you play one more, with the bonded ability, the next card, the next half-brew you're gonna play will be 8. And if you somehow manage to do that and play another one with maybe Fukusia, the 8th one from the graveyard, you could play a 10-point, little half-brew from your on the board. So this is the additional benefit. I mean, the Reckless Flurry is only using this card, but in this list we also have Crocodile Preacher. So 2 options is pretty good. I mean, your game plan could be really flexible depending on the opponent. With the Mushy Truffle, you could either play the Half-Brew or the Preacher. And you don't have to play the Order ability in the same round. You could play it in the next round. And since it's an alchemy, you're going to get more value out of it. And I'm also running a single, not this, a single Duimviendra. I really struggle pronouncing that. Well, this card is really good in this deck. If you play her on range row, you could refresh the order of your Mushy Truffle, which is really huge, especially if you have Preacher on the board. You can play the Alchemy card once again. What was the Alchemy card called? Golden Froth, okay. And also some decks are using the for provision Alchemy card, which is Swallow. That also makes sense, but and it's also an Alchemy, and it could be really good with your leader and so on. But I couldn't find. I mean, I'd rather play Little Half-Brew compared to that. But I think what people are doing is they're removing the Crocodile Preachers and adding these more for provision cards and adding a 6 provision, I guess. But instead, I went with this. I have a couple of Crow Messengers for extra thinning, but you should be careful and always have at least a single Alchemy in your hand, especially in the first or second round. These are really valuable, and these are also great Freya's Blessing targets, because when you use Freya Blessing on that, both of them come out of your graveyard. So I think these are really good value cards. So as you mentioned, I always talked about the bronzes, because these bronzes are really high value cards, all of them. Like, I mean, even the Scout, because he's part of this card package. So let's talk about that as well. We have the this card package. Almost always Skellige decks are running this. So maybe CD Bar needs to look into that. I don't know what they can do, but I don't think it's really healthy that every Skellige deck is running this card package. So I don't know what can be done. Anyway, but what is the discard package? Baron of Bran and Coral duo. Plus, we have the original Morgwark, not Heart of Terror, and Hey Scale and double Skirmisher. So this is the package I'm talking about. I mean, some decks are running double Scouts, but I wouldn't recommend. I mean, this is really ideal. This is the optimal one. So this is our discard package. There is also another card that really helps with that, Darren. When you play Darren on range row, you could, remove a card, move a card from your deck to your graveyard, and that card is usually Crow Mother if you haven't already played or drawn her. She goes to the graveyard, and then when you play an alchemy, she's gonna pop out. So that's a really good play, to be honest with you. And suppose you use your discard package and your Morgwark is still in your deck, you can target Morgwark as well with Darren. So that is also a lot of points once again. Worst case scenario, you can use Darren to get rid of a card in your deck to thin out your deck. But sometimes you can play Darren on melee row. And you play him on melee row, he doesn't damage himself. So it's worst case scenario, it's 6 for 8. So as I said, I mean, all of the cards are value cards in this deck. Okay, so let's talk about the high provision cards here. Well, the most important card in this deck is Gedinith. And with Gedinith, you can get that Clan Preacher out, another Clan Preacher, and you can play the others next to it, and you'll probably benefit from the bonded and make a lot of points even in a single round. I mean, a short round. But I mean, most of you would say everyone's running Heatwave, so getting it is vulnerable to that. Well, to prevent that, we have the Defender, Covenant of Steel. Covenant of Steel can always protect your scenario. Unless the opponent is running a Purify, I mean, your scenario is almost always safe. Why? Because, I mean, if the opponent somehow, targets the Covenant of Steel and gets rid of it, you can get it back with Fukusia. So that's the other high power card, and Fukusia is also in every Skellige deck. So that's an option to replay your Defender. Unless it's Heatwave, but if it's Heatwave, that's really fine. You can getting it is safe, so they can't do anything about it. Bomb Hero isn't in the game anymore, so no need to be scared of that. What about other high power cards? Well, we have some control options, but it's very limited. One of them is Heatwave. I mean, there are some tall targets. I tried more Quark Heart of Terror instead of Heatwave. It really didn't work out. I think Heatwave is better. I already have like 18 units. I was thinking like, I could replay Heart of Terror with my Fukusia, but Fukusia has better targets in this deck. Especially Coral is a really good target with Fukusia or Birna. If you haven't drawn your crucial cards, you can discard more cards while bringing them from your graveyard. So you're almost guaranteed to draw your Gedinith. But if Fukusia is at the bottom of your deck, then you could lose. Definitely, because Fukusia is really an important card, or also Gedinith. But I mean, I was able to draw most of my cards, maybe, let's say, second to last. You are usually guaranteed to draw that many cards. Well, I mean, if you don't draw your discarders, then you're in trouble, though. But that's really a low probability. We're also running Crow Mother. I talked about her. But it's better to discard her to Darren. But I mean, if you draw her, I wouldn't recommend sending her back to your deck. I mean, worst case scenario, you play her for 10 points. If she dies, she'll come back, and so on. Talked about Defender. We have Bride of the Sea. I think she is one of the MVPs of this deck. She really works great in this list with the leader ability. And when you play her, there will usually be at least the Golden Froth, because you already played Mushy Truffle. And with Rain, you can play more high provision cards. I mean, if there isn't any Rain on the board, your only target is Golden Froth because it's 4 provisions. But if there is Rain, you can play Freya's Blessing because it's 5 provisions, or Delirium, or if Giga Scorpion Decoction. And if there is Rain, there will be 2 rounds of Rain because thanks to Little Halfers. So what you can do is, if you have a Little Halfer on the board, you play her Order ability, create Rain, and then play your Bride of the Sea, and you can maybe replay Delirium or Decoction. So it gives us another room for, removal. So we have Gigaspore, Decoction, and Delirium, and Heatwave. So those are our 3 removal options. If you replay one of them, so it's 4. It's not that much, but maybe you need to get rid of a critical unit, like one of the Northern Rams engines. That could be an option, and maybe Heatwave, Siege, or something like that. So anyway, so that's the list. And so we also have Freya's Blessing. Yeah, I think I talked about that, a couple of them. And finally the stratagem is Mask of Ouroboros, because we're playing the discard package. And that's the list, and hope you like it, and see you at the end. Okay, we're facing Inspired Zeal deck. I'm not sure how this deck will perform against the mages. It's probably the mages, because it looks like everyone is playing that deck right now, the Alumni Spam deck. Okay, so let's take a look at our hand. I'm playing on red coin, So there's a strong case that I could go for Gedenith and, you know, try to win an even. Anyhow, well, I have 2 druids just in case. The sand looks okay. I have a discard target. Chrome Messenger will also pop out. All the things missing is probably uh, putting Chrome Mother in the graveyard. There's nothing I can do to that, unfortunately. Delirium, well, probably the second one. Okay, I'll start with the Crow Messenger. And then play the Scout, hoping for something good. Maybe a Heatwave would really do nice here to get rid of Bernard Student. Okay, so that's not looking great. I think I'm gonna keep this Delirium in hand, because if I do that, I have no answer to the Erethusa Student. So let's just discard. Well, that's not what I was looking for. At least we're putting points on the board. Phoebus Assault, that's not good. Okay, so the opponent is really taking it slow. But if I play Gedenith right now, I can't pass the opponent. So I think I'm gonna play the location. And play half row instead of the Bounding Girl. I have plenty of points in my hand. Problem is, Bernard Student is really getting big here. We haven't seen the other students so far, and the opponent didn't use Amphibious Assault to get that one. Is this a siege deck? Yeah, it is. Okay, we got our answer. So this is not alumni spam. That's nice to know, actually. Okay, so let's do this. And then play the other half roof for 8 points. And then, yeah, let's use this. This is gonna put me up ahead, despite the Amphibious Assault. That's really nice, actually. But there are some cards that I don't want to play this round, which is kind of concerning. I could play Bride of the Sea and doing weird. Okay, interesting. 12-point difference, which is actually 10 points, or maybe 9. Okay, so I'm gonna play the Wendera, or whatever she is called. Kinda hard to pronounce, to be honest with you. Okay. So if I play Fukusi actually, and if the opponent keeps playing, I mean, no, it's not gonna come. Okay. But this will go into the graveyard with 8. Okay, so if I play this, I'm gonna be 31, so I'm not gonna pass, so. The opponent passed though. I could play Delirium here. It's gonna play for 7 points. And still I have to use this. Right of the Sea is kind of huge. But I'm gonna use that and not use the location. Yeah, I think this makes more sense. And that's enough to get the round control. Now we have to get the siege out of the opponent. Okay, so this is as good as it gets. I'm gonna keep the sand. I didn't draw my discard package, but hopefully I'll do that next round. So I'm gonna bleed with Gednith. Should I start with that or right away with Gednith? No. I'm gonna start with Crow Mother first. It's good to have her on board, because there will be bombardment if the opponent plays his siege. But I'm sure he'll hesitate. We're getting the War Chariot out, so... Okay. I could have actually used Mushy Truffle right away, but I don't want to do that. Here comes the siege. Should I keep playing? I think I should. Let's put everything on melee row. And while we're at it, let's use the Mushy Truffle. This or that. That is a lot of points. I could also go for Battle Trance, but I think I'm gonna be patient here. Here comes Rafard's Vengeance. He'll probably play the other siege engine in his hand. That's probably going to be reinforced pillars. So yeah, that is it. There it is. I'm still ahead. I'm gonna play one more druid. Either this. Yeah, I think this one is the best here. And let's boost this. So, see one of the advantages of having Crow Mother on the board early. That really helped me out. I could even go for the leader here. Yeah, since I have 3 druids on board, I'm gonna do that as well. Despite siege, I'm, what, 58 to 23? What the hell? Here comes Prince. Who is he gonna do? Yeah, that one. Okay. Since I still have 2 preachers on board, I'm gonna use Delirium here. And then I'm going to pass her. Be running Baron. "12 points different isn't small, so he has to use Seltkirk here. I'm hoping that I drew one of these cards. I mean, they're all good, actually. I mean, even if I draw Darren, I could discard more Quark with that. This is a solid deck remaining. Well, that's not enough. He has to use leader. So he's got no leader left to use Seltkirk. And he used Amphibious Assault to get the Marine instead of Seltkirk. That's kind of interesting. Okay, so this is pretty good. I think I'm gonna discard. Okay, that's better. I wish I had one of these actually. But I just cannot get rid of these. So hopefully I'll draw something good with Coral. Shiny. Why didn't he get this? Okay, so that's that's not looking good. I wish I continued bleeding then. Huh? Okay. That's 6. Okay, so I'm gonna use this then. At least it's, you know, making things harder for my opponent. Okay, so no Seltkirk. So this is a win. Okay. I think I'm gonna keep Heatwave here. All of the other options are pretty good. Yeah, that's enough. No need to disrespect the opponent. The deck is really easy to play against devotion decks. Precision Strike. So it's either no unit or Hauser deck. I'm on red coin, which is phenomenal if I'm playing against a no unit deck, because there are a lot of proactive plays in my lists, and I'm gonna be struggling against that. But if it's, you know, heavy control deck with sorceresses, I'm gonna be struggling. Okay, so who do we toss here? I don't have any discarder cards. Okay, nice to have Gedinith from the start. Okay, did I just toss my alchemy card here? That was a mistake. Okay, so the opponent starts with a bullshit card. So this is a no unit deck. I shouldn't have thrown the... Okay, this is not good. I made a mistake there. I could just start with Gedinith actually. If the opponent does not have Heatwave, he's screwed. If he does, I'm partially screwed. I think I'm gonna start with Darren though. Why would you kill that? Okay, so this is a dead card in my hand. It really sucks. Well, I mean, let's see if he has Heat Wave. May not even want to Heat Wave that actually. I think he's going to. Yeah. And use all the leader. Okay. That makes sense though. So I can't play any alchemies. I should have picked Covenant of Steel. Why did I do that, by the way? This is a mistake. You're probably not gonna see this video. Okay, so let's play the other one. Opponent's planning to pass here. Okay, let's play Fukusia. Let's put this. So that I can play Crow Messenger. Okay, so we got round control. How am I gonna bleed this though? Not using Defender was really a bad call. It wasn't just a bad play, it was terrible. I'm gonna keep this. I will try to make a lot of points with Mushy Truffle and the Bonded Girls. Okay, that could have been more useful to you later. Who do we play this time? I think I'm gonna play a little half-roo. And then resurrect the 8. And also get the Crow Mother out along with it. But before that, I could play the Preacher. But on the other hand, I could... I don't think I should raise Blessing, the other half-roo, and then Crow Clan Preacher, Mushy Truffle, and then Bride of the Sea. That's really good. The opponent's deck is as toxic as it could get. You know what? I'm gonna play Birna. On the other hand, this could be that old trap. If it's incinerating, it's not great. Anyhow, I should play this, I guess. Just perfect. Okay, Birna's cost isn't that high. That's totally fine. Are there any more cards to discard? Yeah, there is actually. Okay, that's really a bad card. So thanks to the leader, I'm also getting some boosts here. I'm gonna use the leader here. So if the opponent plays another Serpent Trap, that's gonna kill Crow Mother. That's a good call. Okay, so let's rain on these. And then play this. Hold on, maybe I should play Freya's Blessing. Let's check. Yeah, Freya's Blessing will put 8 points on the board. Instead of 6 with Golden Froth. Looking pretty good. Well, what can he play to pass me? For now, Zeal? This is gonna play for 8. And there, I don't think there will be any units. At the same time, I'm not sure. I'm gonna pass here. 16 is still a lot of points to make. Actually 17. So what is he thinking? I mean, there are 2 cards in his hand. And it should be basic math, right? Okay, on your math. Yeah, that makes sense. Justice, okay. That's gonna be a lot of points, but not enough. That should be 6 points, right? Okay, so I will have double last say. I could just discard my hand and win. Yeah, these 2 cards should be enough to win. I don't think I will use decoction at all. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get some damage here. Yeah. Even though I played badly in the first round, I easily won because the opponent's deck sucked. So what can I do against Nature's Gift? We'll see. At least I know that my scenario is safe. I'm on blue coin. I got Chrome Mother. That's really good. I think it's best to keep a single alchemy just because of the last game. And these are pretty good. I don't need Croclam Preacher right now. Well, I don't need Scout. One more. Okay. This is actually good. So we just start with this. We can kill a sorcerer with Coral. Unfortunately, I don't have any legit discard target. Ouch. Yeah, that's good. That's the card I'm looking for. Oh, I can resurrect this. Should I use my decoction on this? I'm not really sure, actually. Still, that's a lot of points. So I only have Delirium and Heatwave left to deal with a huge unit. So this is like I'm passing. move. I don't think he'll play another card. I could play Mushy Truffle here. And yeah, I think that makes sense. Because if I play Freya's Blessing, this is gonna get doomed. I really don't want that right now. Although this looks like a huge commitment, it isn't. Okay, so gift tag has no answer to Defender. So I can develop maybe some engines if I don't draw my scenario. Okay. I don't need double for as close in. I definitely don't need you. Okay, this is a bad hand. Not the one that I'm looking for. So I'm gonna have to dig deeper to find these cards. But let's just start with the Chrome Messengers. Opponent didn't play Simless, so we're gonna see that huge tempo swing. Definitely. Let's just kill that. Let's play the Defender here. Here comes 5 into Simless. No, it's actually 8 knee, not Simless. Okay, so I know I'm gonna play this, but I don't know what to resurrect actually. So probably Coral is the best choice here. Come on, man. Nice hit. Gonna play Birney now. Okay. Okay. If I pass, it's gonna tie. And I'm gonna keep playing. This is a lot of points. Let's keep bombarding the opponent. I have lots of points here. So let's check the Druid situation in case this round goes to the third round. So I will have Bride of the Sea and the Freya's Blessing. Okay, so let's go for it then. Oh, there is a single croak. I'm pretty sure in the graveyard. I may go for that. Next. I should have actually done that earlier. Okay, Gezra's that. Okay, that's unexpected. 51. So if I pass, I should pass. I have Heatwave for Gord. Now I just need to draw my Gedinith. Should it be that hard, should it? Yep, there it is. Okay, so... okay, so I need one more Druid. And 3 of these... Yeah, I shouldn't keep this. Okay, that's better. So I have 2 Druids in the graveyard. Yeah, one here, the other there. We should be fine. First, I'm gonna use this. It's definitely better compared to Freya's Blessing. Oh my god, what is that? Okay, I'm losing, I guess. This could be even bigger than Gord. So I think detecting this is really important here. I should use the leader. Okay, that's a bad card. Still, the opponent will probably make like 50 points in what? 4 cards? 5 cards? That would have been better, but I need a druid. Okay, not looking that bad. Okay, we win. Six, same thing. Okay, you just gotta be careful with when you're doing this. I wasn't careful and I killed a unit with it. I thought I was playing the other one first. I could just kill the 14 to troll the opponent, but I'm not gonna do that. Woo! This wasn't an easy game at all. Not bad. Well, I think I played like 5 or 6 games with this deck so far, so I keep winning. But my MMR went a bit down with the Reckless Flurry deck, so this is kind of recovering me. So hopefully I will reach 2470 or 2500 hopefully. And I'm really happy with the performance so far, so I definitely recommend it. Besides, it's different from what we're playing usually, the Reckless Flurry deck. So thank you for watching, I guess, and hope to see you again in another Duello video. Bye bye.